I don't really know who Ernie is. I've seen around cleaning up and stuff, but I don't know him.
He would talk to me sometimes. I would talk to him. He'd ask about my day. I'd sometimes catch him. Sometimes mid school, sometimes after school. And I guess I never really got to know him much as a person, and I wish I did. He seems like an interesting person.
All I know about Ernie is that he's a very friendly guy, and he looks like he likes working with the students. That's it.
My name is Ernest Fierstad. It's spelled F-J-E-R-S-T-A-D, and my middle name is Floyd. I'm not very susceptible to boredom, I think. I don't let myself get bored. Even as a kid, again, I can always find something to do, or like be pretty much at ease with my own company. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, this is boring, this is stupid. It's like, make it fun, enjoy it, do something. I don't know. Like, instead of just saying how bad it is. I've been working at SCPA for just short of 19 years, since February 17th, 1998. I like the people. I like the being indoors and outdoors. I get to not be cooped up indoors all day. It gives me activity, and that I watch a lot of TV in my free time. Kind of a sedentary lifestyle, so the fact that my job employs lifting, pushing, pulling, dragging, and moving, and so it keeps me strong and keeps me fit, I feel like. This is something that goes on here that people make their own slime. Pretty slimy. It's actually, you can see that it's not the worst thing in the world, because once I wipe it off, then you'll see that, I don't know, it's like they mix I don't know what they mix to make it, but I found that in the sinks in the bathroom every now and then.
He sees meaning in his work, and each of us see meaning in our own lives or not, and it's really a shame for people who don't see meaning in their lives. It's kind of empty. Ernie isn't like that. He does see, the importance of supporting the teachers, and I think is that a good public education system is one of the bedrocks of democracy.
Harmony! How's it going?
Hi, Ernie.
What are you up to?
Nothing.
About 5'8", it looks like. Ah! That was a joke about your height. No, not a joke at your expense. Vegetables aren't food. Vegetables are what food eats. We have a one here for, she graduated a couple years ago, Deja Fields, for ASB Treasurer. We have, there's another one I think for her, Kendama. This is the very last remnants of Sam Anton, Keep Calm and Vote Anton. But that was a few years ago when she was the ASB president. But yeah, when I like stickers, and when I find them, I figure, well, I can put them on my trash can, and then that way it personalizes my trash can. This isn't a professional profession. Those are like, it's how I make my living, but some people say, oh, that's not a profession. Profession is like a doctor or a lawyer. Like, to me, a profession is whatever you do professionally to make money and earn a living. Mm-hmm. So I'm a professional custodian, I guess.
There's no shame in it?
There is no shame in that. I think that some people would say, if you asked them, like, oh, what do you do? It's like, oh, I'm just a custodian. Well, I don't know why you would want to put the prefix of just, like, because, that's what you do. So, like, you don't necessarily have to be, I'm proud to be a custodian, but, I'm not going to be ashamed of it. It's something that I do. I enjoy it. Did you have a question?
I do have a question. So, what motivates you? What I mean by that is, like, when you know that, like, no one is necessarily asking you to do your best work, but we see you all the time giving 110%, and you're energetic and you're motivated. Like, what motivates you in your work?
I think the desire to do a good job, and being able to, at the end of the day, say, I did the best I could.
Yeah, because I noticed, like, even in my classroom, you'll look out for things that, like, are safety hazards.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems to be like your number one priority. Like, okay, is this gonna make the kids safe? And then it's like, okay, is this a clean school for you, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we really appreciate it.
Nice. I appreciate the appreciation. One thing that was on my mind was when you have the curtains when they were on the ground, because that all it takes is somebody that wasn't paying attention to step on the curtain, pull the curtain rod down, and then all those glass globes would just.
So you're just always kind of looking out.
I do.
One thing about Ernie is, even when he's having a bad day, he still takes the time to check to see how you are doing. He's not. He takes the time to see what's going on outside his little realm. A lot of people just work in their own little box, and they take care of what they need to do, and they don't look to see what other people have to do. But when I work with Ernie, I get the sense that I'm working with a partner. Like we're all in it together, and it's like we're a community. And he cares about SCPA, and he cares about the kids, and he cares about the community. He takes the time to learn the names of my kids. He takes the time to know what club is in my room at what times. And he doesn't just come in and go, oh, well, you just have kids after school. He cares about what's going on, and he gets to know everybody, which is something I really appreciate.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I'm going to check your window and make sure it's locked.
You may.
Just in case it might be not locked. Of course, it usually is, but that's why we always check it. I don't have to go home and go, oh, did I check that window? I did check that window.
Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.
Whenever anyone does a job that they love, they put a part of their soul into it. They put a part of who they are into it.
He'll have days when he'll just come in and just be so brokenhearted over the fact that the kids have, smeared feces on the wall and he has to clean it up,
Or just
they've
leaving,
peed everywhere,
trash
or stuffed things down the toilet and it's overflowed, and just doing mean things, not thinking of the fact that there's somebody that cleans it up. He's upset that he has to clean it up, but he's just sad that they don't have a bigger respect for what we have here,
Over the floor, and when I vacuum the floor, and then I clean out the magnet bar, and I've been stuck so many times like that, that I'm kind of like. I think that having campus beautification, what it does for students is it allows them to see the custodians as people and to come and work with us for a couple hours or whatever the assignment entails. That to see what we do and how we do it, and to also witness our interactions with teachers, because I've had students say like, oh, that teacher's a jerk or whatever, and I say, well, they've always been really nice to me. I'm cleaning the room like I'm supposed to, so in equivalent, I'm doing my homework. If you don't do your homework, they're probably not going to be super nice to you because you're not doing your job.
What is campus beautification like with Ernie?
Oh, it's actually fun. It's not that much of a punishment. It's more like fun than it is. It's like somebody to talk to, like just pick trash up. I mean, Ernie, he's just like, he talks to you. He's not just like quiet, just do this. He talks to you. He tries having a conversation with you while you're working. Like, he doesn't want you just to be there just cause.
Like I always thought that like there's nothing I can do here to change the world. But I feel like I can make my area, my section of this school a better place by keeping it clean, having a good attitude, working well with others, and that I would much rather be doing this, getting a little bit of outside time every day, than working in a cubicle for some corporation that's gonna get rich, and that I am not gonna be getting. Like, I've never had a desire to be rich. That like some people are like they yearn for more money and this and that, but to me that equals more problems, because like you get more money, then you're in a bigger tax bracket, and I'm not a materialistic person. I don't need a lot of stuff that I don't desire things that I don't need, basically. I was born in Summertown, Tennessee. It was actually there's a hippie commune, and we moved to California in '81. But it was a very unique childhood, I would say, because I got to grow up with a bunch of hippies.
In some ways, it was really a wonderful way to live together and to live with like-minded people and to be with really idealistic people who believed in making positive changes in the world. I thought it was really, really a wonderful way to raise children.
We all lived, like we said, lived in houses where there'd be 3-4 families in a house, and we had to get along, and we did, and the children all played together, and we always would have things for them to do so that they could stay busy.
Both of my sons had long hair, and sometimes we'd go, for instance, to a Padres game, and they'd go into the men's bathroom, and, guys in the bathroom would say, little girl, you're in the wrong bathroom. Plus they had like wispy hair on the sides that we put into little side braids. And one day Ernie, he told me, he said, I'm going to get my hair cut. Like, I'm not going to go to school anymore with long hair. Like, we were willing to, have long hair. I wore long skirts or whatever. But for little children to have to deal with, people's reaction, that's not always easy.
I think they were kind of caught in the middle of that a little bit, because everything in the new world they were in was like, it was different. They had to readjust, and we didn't realize how hard that was going to be for them.
You may not notice, but that's an outhouse in the background. One of my favorite memories is we were on the farm and it was raining. And I said to Ernie, now wait in the truck and I'll come out with the laundry. And he said, no, I want to walk home in the rain. And home was like maybe half a mile away. And so I said, no, wait in the truck and I'll come out with the laundry. So then I came out with the laundry and the truck is empty. And I looked down the road, down this, dirt road, and there's no raincoat at all, just running in the rain, just running, was Ernie. That's like an iconic memory, because it was like, there was just something in it. He wanted to run in the rain, and he did.
One of my favorite memories is probably when we went from Tecate, Mexico, all the way to Ensenada on these little back roads on bicycles, up the hills and down the hills, and he was very aggressive. I had to chase him down a couple of times because he was so fast, but we had a wonderful time.
What I wanted to be when I was younger was something that wasn't really clear to me. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm doing this as a career. That I didn't really have a plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Before I was working at SCPA, I was a substitute custodian, and I worked at various other schools in the San Diego School District. Prior to that, I was working at a convenience store. I also worked before that as a gas station attendant, island attendant at a gas station. And prior to that, I worked at a Togo's Eatery sandwich shop. That was my first job.
What is your biggest accomplishment?
My biggest accomplishment, without a doubt, is quitting drugs. I was using methamphetamine, and it really was a bad deal. I don't know if you've known anybody that had any experience with it, but it's really a downward spiral. Like it takes over your life basically, and I believe that at the time I was a slave to it. That it was more powerful than my will, and there was people that I would normally not have hung out with, but if they could provide me with a little bit of drugs, I would hang around them.
We were in denial a lot. Like, we didn't know that his drug abuse was as serious and was as long-standing as it was. When he made a decision to stop using drugs, and he didn't. It wasn't a program particularly. It was him making a decision. And that takes a lot of strength. And it was really like a spiritual rebirth. He was reborn to the incredible person he is. And I'm really proud of him. And I'm so grateful to have him back.
I had a bad time. It was like a 10 years of nightmare, basically. But that was definitely my biggest accomplishment, that I did it myself. I didn't go to rehab. I decided that I wanted to stop lying to people that cared about me, friends and family. I wanted to stop destroying my health. And so I decided, and I successfully quit doing methamphetamine. Like, you have to be strong. You have to be able to stick with it. And like, one of the first things I did was all the phone numbers of the people that I knew that used, I deleted it. So that way I wouldn't have access, or it would make it harder to access. And I think that's important, is make it hard for yourself to continue to do it by like, you know, excommunicating with the people that you use with. It's important for people to know that a lot of things, some things can't be fixed, but a lot of things can be fixed. And with a little bit of know-how and the right materials, things can be brought back from the dead, or like, you can prolong the life of them by just doing a little bit of simple mechanical ingenuity or whatever. You know what, I live very much in the now. And I don't think too much, or worry too much regretting about the past, or worrying too much about the future. I try and live in the moment, and I think that's part of what I've found to be successful for me, is that living in the moment and being right now, like, because the time is now, like, and the time was, but the time is, you know. So I think that that's an important part of my outlook.
And this is my story about him, is that he always sings and whistles and speaks so loudly, you always know where he's around. You can always tell when he's near, because even if he's in a classroom with the door shut, you can hear him.
Or sometimes he does talk to himself. One time I heard him talking, and I'm like, who are you talking to? And it's like he was actually having a full-on conversation. And then he goes, oh, nobody, I'm just talking to myself.
I was vacuuming, and I was back, and I was like pretending like I was doing an infomercial selling vacuums. And so I was vacuuming. I was like asking if the people in the back, can you see the results that this vacuum cleaner is getting? And I really got into it. And then Barbara, the librarian, like, was looking for a custodian. She saw the door open, and she heard me talking to somebody. And so she came in, and she saw me, and then she's like looking like, where's the other? And so, who were you talking to? I said, I was talking to myself. And she didn't believe me at first. Those fingers through my hair, that sly come hither stare, it's witchcraft. On the mic, I've got more attendance I got more presence than attendance in the class of schizophrenics. Here. The easiest part of mimicry is like saying something that a character says a lot. But then it's like, so, hey Bert, have you seen my rubber ducky? Yes, dear. Anything you say, dear. America used to be a producer, very inflexible at that. Now America has found itself being a consumer, and all consumers know when the producer names the tune, the consumer has got to dance. So the Arabs used to be in the third world, but they bought the second one and put a firm down payment on the fourth one. Controlling your resources will control your world. I really enjoy like a lot of types of music. There's a type of music for every occasion, I believe. And I believe that the music that we listen to is the soundtrack to our lives. That as the connection between music and memory, like, you might, in 20 years, you might hear a song that you're hearing right now that you haven't heard since, and it'll flash you right back to where you were when you last heard it, and it's incredible. So music is, I believe, the soundtrack to our lives. Super rusty.
It's okay. It's pretty good, right? Until it doesn't.
Yeah. I do have a favorite quote. What was it, though? You can tell it's my favorite quote because it's right on the top of my head. Life is a holiday. No, wait. Every day is a holiday, and every meal is a feast. Because that's just a way of looking, like, and that appreciating, like, okay, maybe it's raining, maybe, but I'm alive and I'm healthy, and I'm eating food, and like that's a lot more than some people can say, because some people are hungry and don't have a place to live, and so that I think that that a positive saying like that, like, life is a holiday and every meal is a feast. Every day is a holiday and every meal is a feast, and it kind of keeps us aware of how lucky we are to have what we have, I think.